Yeah, this is Primetime Poulton. Keep it entertaining, you already knowin'. Outworking everybody and he don't ever quit. Talking about plenty comics like Graveyard Shift, Sea Dogs, Viking Whoop, U.S. Assassin. Doing just what he loves, this is his passion. Bring more value to your dollar, no I'm not frontin'. That's how just a writer became a moral compass. This is Primetime Poulton. This is Primetime Poulton, let's go.
What's up, guys? Happy Thursday. It's edition of Primetime Poulton. I got Brian Criscal as my guest. Let's bring him on. What's up, Brian?
What's up? What's up?
Thanks.
Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Oh man, anytime. I'm looking forward to this. We're going to talk about your book, Six Gun Gorilla. Breaking news: Mark Penguin just notified me to tell me I got shadow banned on Twitter.
Yay!
Indiegogo wasn't enough.
No, you're like racking up a resume.
Yeah,
man. I know a lot of people. There's been a lot of nonsense with Twitter going on in the last couple of days, and a lot of people are getting banned and shadow banned. What can I say? You know, it's we're getting towards election time, so I think most of us knew this was coming. So
I'm the least controversial person I know.
Oh yeah, but that's got nothing to do with nothing. That's got nothing to do with nothing. We know that nowadays too.
Yeah,
it's that algorithm. It's out to get you.
Why am I paying my $8 a month, Chris?
That's right. You can get a blue check mark now if you pay $8 a month, but then you're still shadow banned?
Yeah, apparently. And I guess Rini, she is paying the $8 a month too. What's the point? I mean, I did it because I could tweet longer and I could edit my tweets.
Look, I think all of us were kind of psyched when Elon bought Twitter. At the same time, I think anybody that thought that he was going to be like this great First Amendment warrior was wrong, shall we say?
We also got Nefarious in the chat. What's up, Neff?
What's up,
Hell,
Neff?
nerds, have a great show talking Six Gun Gorilla. Now, talking about shadow ban, this is the perfect segue because we can talk about my project Coney Waves, currently shadow banned on Indiegogo.
Hey, it's think of the company that you're keeping.
Yep. With all the greats, we're less than a week away from wrapping up the campaign. Normally, it would probably be on the top trending comics as a close down and excitement builds, but no. So please, guys, if you could share the link on Twitter, on your social media, I would appreciate it. I'm so proud of this book. Coney Waves was the book I started my career on back in 2006, published by Arcana Studio, and we did 3 volumes of that. It got put in development for a live action series. In 2010, we worked with Barney Cohen, who created the Melissa Joan Hart version of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And we had Melise Zhao from Vampire Diaries attached as Coney. Did a huge signing at San Diego Comic-Con 2010. We thought all the stars were aligning. We were like, this show is going to happen. And we even got an offer. I wrote the pilot episode, a 90-minute pilot movie. And everything was lining up, and we were advised not to take the deal. We were told a bigger deal is right around the corner. Bigger deal never happened, but I always loved that script I wrote, and I always wanted to bring back Coney Waves and do it the way I always envisioned it. And here it is, now available as a 56-page graphic novel written by me and Mandy Summers. She adapted my screenplay into a comic script. Renzo Rodriguez on art. And Renzo is just killing it on this book, Brian. This is his cover, colored by Ink Spots.
Oh, inky. I love that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Did a killer job on this.
Stunning.
Thank you. Then we got a variant cover by Rini.
Rini, of course. Yeah. I would love her.
And then here's Renzo's interior artwork, colored by Coney Waves co-creator Dexter Weeks. Absolutely gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Renzo's having the time of his life. after we worked on Viking Wolf, I asked him what would he like to draw next, and he said more babes. So Coney Waves was the perfect book for him.
Well, it's one of the things you want to do is, if you know the artist that you're working with, ask them what they want to draw, and then give them lots of that, and you'll have a great book.
So Renzo's having the time of his life, and it shows in his work. Absolutely beautiful. Dexter Weeks doing the best colors of his career, in my opinion. Dex, My Secret Weapon, also letters the book. He does a little bit of everything for me. He's also an incredible artist. We'll see a piece of his artwork later on the campaign page. But I always say Coney Waves is like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Hawaii Five-0. Coney's a private investigator who, when her friend is murdered, her investigation leads her to discover more to her island paradise of Hawaii. One where vampires, mummies, werewolves, ghosts, tiki monsters all exist. So it's definitely a fun book.
And she fights them all wearing a pair of Daisy Dukes.
Yep. Can't ask for more than that.
No, definitely not.
We just added a black and white edition to the book with a cover by Chris Graves.
Nice.
My workout buddy and co-host on CG Revolution. But Renzo's artwork is absolutely stunning. You can enjoy it in black and white and gray tones.
Nice.
That he provides.
Yeah, I'm a black and white stan, big time. So that's right up my alley.
Coney Wave started black and white back in 2006. It was a black and white series for the first volume. So it's cool to go back to the roots on the book.
Heck yeah.
And then I mentioned that screenplay that I wrote back in 2010. You can buy the screenplay in book form. It's available, 90 pages. Has this beautiful Murat Michaels cover.
Mm-hmm.
And then Making Waves, The Art of Coney Waves, 24-page pinup book, foil cover, beautiful painting by Steven Sestilli, the original artist of Coney Waves. And we got some killer pinups, one from Chasen Grisham, channeling his inner Michael Turner on this piece.
Big time.
Yeah. One from my late friend Matthew Swift, beautiful piece. And then Dexter Weeks, I said he was my secret weapon. He's also a killer artist and designed this one of the villains for later on in the book. So another killer piece.
Nice.
And you can also get some of the classic books from 2006 to 2010. They're all available. They come signed by me, Dexter Weeks. And then add-ons, we got the Haunted Pizza 2024 calendar. No need to worry about your calendar showing up late. This is for next year, and it's already in stock. So you grab a calendar, and also the George Perez cover for Loose Threads. I made it available again in this campaign in case you missed out. Honored to have what could possibly be George Perez's final cover. So if you missed out on the Loose Threads campaign, you can grab it in the Coney Waves campaign. But only five days left. Time's running out, guys. So
seriously, bust a move. Be a winner, not a wiener.
Mark says I first found Six Gun Gorilla years ago before Comicsgate and would get issues via PDFs direct from Brian. Oh, that's amazing.
Thanks, man. Thank you for your support.
And we're going to get into Six Gun Gorilla, but one last thing I need to promote. Writhe in Pain, my next book, launches June 6th with Chris Graves, co-creator and artist of the book. Writhe in Pain mailing list also shadow banned on Indiegogo. So this link is essential if you want to sign up for it. Chris and I have a ton of cool stuff. I put the tweet out there earlier today because Chris and I have been talking about stuff besides the book we want to add to the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked the normal stuff: trading cards, prints, magnets, stickers. And someone tweeted and said, "Oh, all that stuff's all the same. I want people to really think about their property and what items work for that."
Right.
So that got my mind racing. I was like, "Yeah, he's absolutely right." So this is breaking news, Brian.
Okay.
Chris and I are doing so this book's about witchcraft and supernatural elements. We're going to offer a Writhe in Pain Ouija board.
Ooh. Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Wow, that's spooky.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I will not mess with it. I'll sell it, but I won't mess with it.
No. I'm way too superstitious. No, you couldn't pay me to touch one of those things. No. Hell no. But, if it's just sitting on a shelf somewhere.
I don't know. I might even have to get a storage unit just to keep them in it. But I ain't messing around with it.
I'm way too superstitious, man. Yeah, no way.
But I just thought it was the perfect idea for the book, and I ran it by Chris. So yeah, it's being designed now. I'm excited for it.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you ever? I always thought it was crazy that like Parker Brothers made a Ouija board.
Yes, I remember that. I remember seeing that in Toys R Us. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, remember, a lot of these things started out as parlor games.
Yeah.
Or like, for instance, mesmerism, hypnotism started out as a parlor trick. The guy who discovered it, Mesmer, where we get the word mesmerism from, it was just like a thing he would do at like rich people's parties. Yeah. Like it would never occur to anybody until I think Sigmund Freud came along that, oh, hey, this might actually be useful for some therapeutic purpose.
Yeah. So have you ever used one?
What, a Ouija board?
Yeah.
Hell no. Hell to the fucking no. Here's the thing. I am somebody who has what you would, I guess, consider, a pretty vast knowledge of the occult. I've been reading books about the occult since I was a child, and I'm someone who has never, ever dabbled in it.
Yeah.
It's a subject that I approach from the outside and that I respect the way that you respect a loaded gun.
Right.
Right? Or like a box of dynamite. Yeah. Or it's just like, I'll read about the stuff, but when it would come to actually dipping my toe in, dabbling, no. Oh, no.
So when I was in high school, in the cafeteria, these teenage girls brought in one of the Parker Brothers Ouija boards, and they needed one more person to like move the piece around. Right. So they asked me to do it. So I did dabble in it one time.
Yeah. How did that go?
Nothing happened. But later on in life, I swear I saw a ghost, and I don't mess with like dabble in supernatural stuff.
I know I've never seen a ghost, but I know way too many people who have.
Yeah,
I saw too many.
I saw the Atco ghost when I was a senior in high school. It's a local legend. I live in South Jersey, and there's a legend of a little boy whose ball bounced across the street. He ran after it. I think this is Pet Cemetery now that I say it out loud.
Right.
And he got hit by a tractor. It is Pet Cemetery. Oh my God.
Pretty much.
He gets hit by a tractor trailer because the where the trucks leave is like right next to the kid's house. So he gets hit by a truck. And at night, if you sit on this road, you'll see the ball bounce across the street, and then you'll see the kid run after it. So as soon as my friend got his driver's license, of course, first thing we do, we're gonna go check out the Atco ghost.
Right.
And we're just waiting and waiting. We probably sat there for an hour. I mean, we're high school kids. We had nothing to do. We didn't have girlfriends or anything.
Right.
So we're just sitting there in silence. Next thing I know, I see this light bounce across the street, and then a flash of light follow after it. And I just turned to my friend and said, "Did you see?" And he turns on the car, hits the gas, and drives off as fast as he could. And he says, "I saw it too, Mark." Man. So did I see a ghost? Did I see a flashing light from one of the towers where the trucks are parked that night? I don't know. But I swear it's a ghost in my eyes.
Yeah, well, did it look like it was surrounded by black pollen? I had a teacher at university who claimed to have lived with a ghost.
Oh
She and her
wow.
daughter had a ghost that inhabited their attic,
Yeah.
and the ghost came with the house. And she said that it looked like it was surrounded by black pollen. And because when I had like office time with her, that's the
Hmm.
first thing I wanted to know was like, okay, you saw a ghost. Tell me everything.
Wow.
And,
Yeah. I can't recall like what it was like around the light.
yeah.
I don't know if it was like a black pollen, but the kid that I saw it with, he lived in a house that had a ghost. So
Uh-huh.
he not only he claimed it, but his mom claimed it.
Yeah.
She said when she was pregnant with him, the ghost was the woman who first owned the house. She would sit on the edge of the bed and look over her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like keeping an eye on her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Crazy.
wow. Yeah. Like I said, I know too many people who have seen them. And the thing is they tell you in a very matter of fact way
Yeah.
about their experiences. And if you just let people know that you're open to the idea, you'll be amazed at how many
Uh-huh.
people will come out and tell you, yeah, I've seen something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this great big secret that that people keep. But if everybody who's seen a ghost
Uh-huh.
were to turn purple tomorrow, there'd be a lot of purple people, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a story I just don't bring up. I only bring up like when the supernatural comes up in topic. I was like, I saw a ghost.
Well, I don't believe in the supernatural. That is
Hmm.
to say, I believe that everything that we call supernatural are things that are natural that we have no explanation for,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, I only believe in what I can see." I'm just like, "Oh, well, do you not believe in magnetic fields? Do you not believe in radio waves?" Right?
Yeah.
So, I think that there are, I think that are ghosts even the souls of the dead, or are they merely kind of psychic echoes? Um, it was Nigel Neal, science fiction writer, who wrote the Quatermass films. Also worked a lot for the BBC. He wrote a story called the Stone Tapes, in which he presents the idea that ghosts are basically recordings that are made by places, and that when something happens involving strong emotions, that a place can kind of record what's happened, and that would explain why ghosts so often seem to be operating on a loop.
Wow.
Yeah, and then of course there's a possibility that there's both kinds.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we just don't know, because science doesn't want to take a close look at these things, because it's relegated to the province of the supernatural and folklore and that sort
Yeah.
of a thing.
Mark Pengrin says, my friend in 8th grade found a Ouija board in an abandoned house that was made in the late 1800s in Salem, Massachusetts. I refuse to even touch it.
Wise man, wise man. Whoop, 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 whoop. Don't fail me now.
Every red flag imaginable is
Ding, ding,
in
ding,
that
ding.
scenario.
Oh my god.
We got Chris Faction in the house. What's up, Chris?
What up?
If you follow Chris on Twitter, make sure you vote in his tournament of CG characters. Even though U.S. Assassin got knocked out, still go vote.
Most definitely.
B.A. Turner in the house. What's up? Thanks for joining us. Edwin the Ace, Raid of the White Leopard, launching April 28th. Oh, that's right. That's tomorrow.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, good luck on the launch, Edwin.
Oh, seriously, I love Edwin. Edwin's a boss. I love that dude.
Mark also says, I saw a ghost children playing in the park by my house after work one night later. I found out that park used to be a cemetery.
Oh, man.
So, Mark, are you getting the Writhe in Pain Ouija board?
Well, I mean, look, it's not like finding one in an abandoned house in Salem, Massachusetts.
Right.
I have a friend who lives in Salem, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So is that like a big touristy?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. He works as a tour guide, actually. and tells people about the historical sites and
Mhm.
everything, and obviously Cotton Mather and the witch trial and all of that spot. There's a lot of Wiccans that move there.
Chris says we're going to do an open enrollment for the next round of matches this weekend, so think about who you want in the bracket. Will do, Chris.
Thank
All
you.
right. So enough of the spooky talk. Let's talk some gunslinging gorillas.
Hell yeah.
6-gun gorilla. So you were telling me this is something you've been doing for quite a while. You
10
mentioned
years.
New York Comic Con 2017, so it existed way before that as well.
Yes, it did.
Give us the origin story of 6-gun gorilla.
The origin of the character, or the origin of the comic, of like where I got the idea and all that
Well,
stuff?
so is 6-gun gorilla a public domain
Yes.
character?
Yes. Okay. I'll try to tell the short version, because this can get long if I get into the details.
Yeah.
I'm a big pulp guy,
Mhm.
right? I just love pulp literature. Big fan of Robert E. Howard, especially. Big fan of Edgar Rice Burroughs. Those cats in particular. Love the old Doc Savage novels, all that stuff. And so I was on a website and I was looking at a list of Golden Age and pulp characters. And I'm scrolling, and I see 6-gun gorilla. And I had the reaction that most people have when they come across that name, which is, on the one hand, that sounds ridiculous, and on the other, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I was obsessed with apes when I was a child, specifically gorillas. Was a big fan of King Kong and Mighty Joe Young and all of those pictures. And so also a Western fan. So I'm like, okay, well, I have to find the story and read it ASAP. So I looked for it, and then I discovered that it had been out of print since its initial printing. It was originally published, I think, in 1940. Well, you know what? Hold on a sec. It was, because I actually have it at the front of this. 1939. Yeah, it was serialized in 1939 in a magazine called Wizard, interestingly enough, which was a pulp magazine for little boys. And I learned that the only 2 copies were under lock and key in a museum in London.
Wow.
So I was not going to be able to get my hands on that story anytime soon. And so I was pretty butthurt about the whole thing, and I figured I would console myself with some of my favorite junk food, which is fish and chips. And so I hop in my car, and I have the Hawk the Slayer soundtrack blasting for some reason. And as I'm driving, the story just wrote itself in my head. This never happens. Never happens, that a story just kind of emerges whole cloth. This one did. By the time I parked, I had like the whole story. Not all the details, but I had the whole story.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, crap, if I can't read this, I'm going to have to write it. And yeah, that's where the whole thing started.
It's awesome when the story comes to you just like that. I'm experiencing it with Writhe in Pain, which I'm still writing now, but man, it just came so easy to me, and it was just like, oh, I need to get this down on paper. But
don't
yeah.
you love it? Don't you wish that happened more often?
Oh yes, absolutely. So were you doing comics before you discovered the 6-gun gorilla then?
I had experimented. It had been an ambition of mine since I was a little boy, right? And it was something that I always wanted to do. It was something that I studied very carefully. Like a lot of people, I had like 3 or 4 first comics. The same way there's a lot of novelists out there.
Yeah.
They have like 3 or 4 first novels. And nothing ever really clicked. And I was still learning the form. I'd gone to university. I'd studied the classics because I wanted to be a writer. And I told myself, well, if I want to be a good writer, I need to study the classics, know the classics, get my Shakespeare down, get my Chaucer down, my Dickens, all of those cats, right? And so I did that and started, writing myself. But then I also discovered that writing a comic book script is the most unnatural form of fiction writing out there. That is to say, there are a lot of writers that come from other fields, from screenwriting, from prose. And whenever they go and try doing a comic book, they all have the same reaction. They all say the same thing. This was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. Really great story. One of my favorites was this was a story that that Stan Lee told about a writer from Esquire magazine. He came across the street to Marvel and said, "Oh, I'm such a big fan. I want to write comic books. That's my dream." And so he was like, "Okay, here, try and write a fill-in issue of the Fantastic Four." Right? Fill-in issues, of course, as you know, being when maybe they can't make a deadline or something like that, and they have something just ready to go. It's done in one story, right? And so over a month goes by, and he rings this guy up, the Esquire writer, and he says, "Oh, dude, what happened to that script?" And the writer says, "You know what? Oh, damn it, man. I tried and tried. This is the hardest thing I ever tried doing. And so, I think I'm going to try and do something easy, like write a novel." And that writer was Mario Puzo, and that novel was The Godfather.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's a very unnatural way to tell a story. And it is not something that comes easy or naturally. I had to write a bunch of comic book scripts before I felt like I got it. Once you get it, once it gets good to you, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But just getting to that point, telling a story in still pictures and still pictures arranged on a page. It's not something that comes naturally, I think, to almost anybody. I mean, I'm sure there are a couple of prodigies out there. There's got to be some people,
right,
that just get it just like that. But I certainly wasn't one of them. So I put in the work, and it's really interesting because this was a dream I had really kind of given up on. I was working in the mental health care field and doing a job that I absolutely loved. It didn't pay a lot, but I got by, and it was emotionally and spiritually fulfilling. And then my mom got sick. She got Alzheimer's. I had to quit my job to move in with her and take care of her full time. Then the lockdown happened, and that's when I discovered CG. And my dream was on again, because of course, I had done 3 issues, then 4, and had done conventions, and I'd looked for a publisher, and with no luck. Yeah. So it was through crowdfunding and through CG and through this indie comics community that I've been able to make a dream come true. And I shall be eternally grateful to this community for that.
Yeah, it's funny. I think things work out sometimes the way they're supposed to. Like you say, with you tried to find a publisher, you couldn't. John and I were in the same boat when we tried to get Graveyard Shift off the ground. We showed it to every indie publisher around. They all turned it down. They all said, 290s, 2 Liefeld. Rob Liefeld was even going to help us set it up at Image at one point, and that fell through. Yeah. And for the longest time, we just had 2 issues done, and we were just going to do it, self-publish it on our own at some point if we had to. And then CG happened, and we're sitting on 2 completed issues of Graveyard Shift.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So things work out for the best. If we had went with an indie publisher, and the same with you, probably wouldn't have made any money off it. Probably would have been canceled after a couple issues. Like if Rob did set it up at Image for us, it would have been canceled after 4 issues. Just that's the way things happened at Image Comics at the time.
Yeah. Well, likely. I mean, I always like to think that things happen for a reason too.
Yeah.
but you never know. The one thing that was extremely validating was the fact that I put out a comic that got a lot of critical acclaim, where everybody liked it, and I was not expecting that at all. I really thought that, obviously there are going to be some people that are really going to get a kick out of this. That there's like a certain audience for this, basically guys like me, and and then other people, it wouldn't be their thing, but that's okay. And I didn't expect like pretty much everybody to like really like it. It clicked with people in a way that was completely unexpected for me. Completely.
Yeah.
And then I sent the book to one of my heroes, Joe Lansdale, the author of Bubba Hotep and writer for Jonah Hex. He wrote some Batman, some Conans. I did a series of novels that was turned into a TV series called Hap and Leonard, and he was actually on the set when they were shooting the first episode of that TV series. And I had sent him the comic and said, "Hey, like, would you be willing to take a look for it? And like, just give me your feedback if you're inclined to give me some feedback."
Yeah.
And he sent me back this wonderful quote. And I remember I allowed myself a whole like 10 minutes of happiness where I was just like, yeah, and thought like, well, even if I never sell it, even if it never takes off, no one can ever take that away from me. And of course, a guy like Joe Lansdale, yeah, well, of course he's going to get something like Six Gun Gorilla, but I didn't expect people to connect with it in the way that they did, where people that told me that they didn't even think they were going to like it because they don't like westerns or they don't like monkeys and guns or whatever,
right?
And then they told me like yeah, like it brought me to tears. I'm like, okay, I'll take that for sure. So, and mind you, this isn't me being braggadocious. This is me being very grateful because we put our work out there. We don't know if it's going to click with people or not.
Yeah.
You never know. And so I've just been very blessed, very fortunate in that regard.
So let's get into the actual campaign. Should I play the video?
Oh yeah, well that's the all new, more heavy metal trailer. Yeah, feel free. Right. Sorry, I had to stop my camera there because I just I can't stand the idea of people watching me watching my own trailer.
It's a great trailer. I'm
Thank you.
Always impressed how great the trailers have become in CG. Like,
they've been fantastic.
Yeah, especially like if you look back at the I just think of some of my early ones. But
right.
Everyone's really stepped up their game. But
they
have. That was killer.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things that's great about being a part of a community like this is there's so many different people with so many varying talents.
Yeah.
And that means work for more of us,
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with how that turned out.
So Six Gun Gorilla, this is issues 9 and 10 and volume 2. So you can get the single issues, or you can get all of volume 2 collected. I assume which 9 and 10 are a part of.
Oh yes, yes.
Okay.
Volume 1, the Volume 1 trade paperback collects issues 1 through 6, and Volume 2 is going to collect issues 7 through 10. You can also buy the entire series in floppy format. So there's something for everybody. One of the things I wanted to make very, very clear when I launched this campaign is that I'm not a double dipper. So that's to say that nobody is going to be forced to buy a story that they already have, to buy issues that they already have, right?
Yeah.
And so if you have the first trade paperback and you have issues 7 and 8, guess what? You can get the just 9 and 10. And so on and so forth. So if you're new to the world of Six Gun Gorilla, you can just back the first trade paperback too. And there is a link in the description at the top of the page where you can click, and it will take you to a free digital download of a PDF of the very first issue.
Oh, that's awesome.
Completely for free, because I believe in my product. And what can I say? The first one's always for free.
Chris says that didn't work. But yours does. I see how it is. Did the volume not play? The sound not play?
And I think there's other versions of the trailer on there too. So folks,
Yeah.
if you want to go on there and see the one where Ethan is like praising the book, or the one where Cecil's praising the book, it should be on there as well.
Oh well, let's try again, since my headphones unplugged as we were talking. So I
heard it.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah,
all right.
man.
Okay. Well, we'll keep going then.
It's all good.
The artwork is beautiful. Who is the artist on the book?
Oh, well, the artist from issues 1 through 7 is the late great Adrian Sibar. He was a friend of mine who was from beautiful Buenos Aires, Argentina. He unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, and that's going to make every victory going forward always a little bittersweet, because I loved Adrian and he was just a peach to work with.
Yeah.
You know, you do 7 comics together, at a certain point, you develop a shorthand, right? Where like I don't have to put as much description in my scripts, and we're finishing each other's sentences, and he would make changes that were always that made the book better.
Yeah.
Right. So unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago, and then my good friend Preston Acevedo stepped in, and he did issue number 8, which is titled "Cemetery Without Crosses." All of the issues and the chapters are named after the titles of spaghetti westerns, and for each chapter, I always found a spaghetti western title that fit perfectly. They just dropped into place.
So whose artwork are we looking at right now?
Right at the top, that's that is my man Adrian. That's Adrian Sibar. He worked on Batgirl, Star Wars for Dark Horse. He did Bang Tango for I think that was for DC, written by Joe Kelly. He was a really great artist, and it's a terrible loss of a talented artist, and also just a really great guy, really cool guy. And these two images that you have at the top right there, those are from issue number 8. Those are by Preston Acevedo, with colors by Ollie from 6x6.
Okay. Yeah, I love Ollie.
Yeah, he's the best.
Nicholas Gear joined us. What's up, Nicholas?
What up?
And Mark says he heard it. So okay. But I thought I messed it up by plugging my headphones back in. But yeah, artwork looks great.
I've been super lucky. Been super lucky with the people that I've worked with.
And volume 1 is 148 pages.
Yep. That's
and
this. This is the first trade paperback right there. Nice and thick.
Yeah.
Beautiful color.
And how many pages is the second volume?
I think that's going to be about 96.
Okay.
Probably a little thicker, because one of the things I like to do is, we were talking about tchotchkes and that sort of a thing before. Oh yeah, one of the things I got to show off is my friend Matt Burke does a book called Butch Cleaver, which, by the way, y'all should check out.
I have one of them.
Do you? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Because he likes his beer, so he got like a bottle opener. And what I love about this is it's nice and heavy, so you can like leave a nice dent on somebody's head or jab them in the throat. It's like I carry this in my back pocket for self-defense, just in case I get mugged during an evening walk.
So Chris is saying it's just on his end. He's the only person who didn't hear it, apparently.
It's all good, brother. It's all good.
I see you got your 6 a.m. artwork.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. MC Mark Marinelli chewing up MCs like spaghetti, or maybe some Cheerios. He masticates his foes. Yeah, I mean, what's a CG campaign without 6 a.m. sticker?
Yeah,
right?
no, I say it all the time. Yeah,
yeah, and he's just the best. He is easily the funniest guy in CG. I always refer to him as CG's sleeping giant, because he still hasn't launched his campaign for Starfetched yet.
Yeah,
and that's going to be epic, needless to say. Now, I did offer this sticker before on a previous campaign, but I messed up and I got it a little too small.
Yeah,
right. Like here. You can check it out. It's on the side of my computer right there. Now, who wants a small sticker of a gorilla?
Yeah. So I had the same problem. The first time, like, Mark gave me the files of the characters of mine he drew, I was like, oh, I'm getting some stickers for conventions. And I was like, I've never ordered stickers before.
I know. So it's not just me. It's not just me.
So I have all these little tiny Sea Dog stickers.
Yeah. So I'm doing the stickers again. This time they're going to be nice, big, fat ones. I promise.
Yeah. I feel like this may be one of his best interpretations of a CG character. This looks great.
Oh my god. Yeah. No, he knocked that out of the park. I love that dude.
What's this?
Yes.
Another stretch goal.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Preston and Lit Devil and I decided to do a little experiment. That is to say, we decided to do a Doc Salem, that's Preston Acevedo's character, Doc Alpha, that's Lit Devil's character, Six Gun Gorilla crossover. And so the way that this has worked is we decided that each of us would write a chapter. And that is to say, one would pick up from where the other left off. And the first chapter appeared in the back of, was a backup feature in the first Doc Salem. And so this is going to be an ash can that's going to contain that, and also a new chapter, my chapter. And then the last chapter, that's going to be for Lit Devil to pick up from. So it's going to be, rather than put it in the back of the book, I thought, well, you know what? Let's just do it as an ash can. An ash can just makes more sense for this sort of a thing.
Yeah, no, I love ash cans.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, there are some of the reviews from, some very, very gracious individuals. Mike Barron called it majestic. He's a big Six Gun Gorilla fan. Mike Barron was one of those cats that, was one of those dudes that when I was a teenager made me want to write comic books, for real.
Uh-huh.
And so to get his approval,
that's awesome.
Was epic. Joe Lansdale, Ethan, of course, and a bunch of other people. Like I said, I've just been really, really lucky in terms of
Mike Barron hit me up a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, "Hey, let's trade books." And I was like, "Really? You want to trade books with me?"
I know. He did the same thing to me. I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
So
you know awesome. Who I am? Like, really? You want to read my little comics? Really? Yeah, no. Mike's a man of the people for sure, man. I love that dude.
So, what is this? Shoot the Living.
Oh yeah, that's just a little image I threw in there. That's the back cover of issue number 8.
Nice. I was going to say it looks like a cool advertisement.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to do some prints also. Shoot the Living, Pray for the Dead. Once again, that's a spaghetti western title. And that image is from issue number 7, The Big Gun Down. We know where, well, a lot of people get shot. If you're getting this book looking for a book where a gorilla fires really big guns and blows really big holes in very bad people, you're going to get that. But hopefully also you're going to get a little something extra that you didn't expect. And I tried to invest this story with a lot of heart, and it seems like it worked, because people tell me that this book really does capture them by the heart, and that they really care for these characters. And once again, I didn't know if that was going to happen or not, but I do know that if you don't have passion for your story and your characters, nobody else is.
Yeah, no, it's really awesome when you see your book connects with the fan base. So I'm very very happy for you. BS Warren has joined us. What's cracking, crew? He says Mike's a legend. I love his Punisher stuff. I think we all do.
yeah, man. Without a doubt, Nexus, of course. That's how I discovered him.
Yeah,
Badger.
Let's go through the tiers. Your featured tier is 6 Gun Gorilla Volumes 1 and 2. Get the whole story there. $50.
Yep.
Do the books come signed?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless people tell me they specifically don't want them signed.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to hit me up and let me know.
Yeah, same here. I sign everything. Occasionally, every once in a while, I'll get that email. Hey, if I back your book, will you not? Would you? I would prefer you not sign it. I was like, okay. I just write their name down and try to remember for a couple months later when the books arrive.
Yeah. But otherwise, by default, absolutely, I sign everything that I get. I'm grateful for each and every customer, and then of course, one of the things that's great about the crowdfunding model, and let's face it, there's a lot of things that aren't great about it.
Yeah.
Especially when we're getting shadow banned.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I love is the fact that if somebody has a problem with their order, they're not contacting a publisher or a distributor. They're contacting me personally.
Yeah.
So if you get a book and it arrives all jacked up or something, you let me know and I'll make it right. I will apologize and send you another copy. And if your books are late for whatever reason, like for instance, if I run out of books and then I have to order more and that takes like an extra couple of weeks or something, I'll throw in something extra, like an extra book or something.
Yeah.
About customer satisfaction.
Yeah. No, doing I guess the first time I ever really experienced that in a mass dosage was with Graveyard Shift 1. When people were if someone had a problem with their orders, they were emailing me and then I would respond back. And it was funny. People would say, "Oh my God, I can't believe the Moral Compass responded back."
Hey, look, and people that don't invest in their readers are morons.
Yeah.
They really are. I don't know what they're thinking. First of all, you have to have that gratitude, right? Because these are folks that are literally allowing us to live our dreams. I mean, we're making comic books. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Right? And
best job there is.
Right. And then, even if you're an a-hole, it would just be smart business sense.
Yeah.
To be good to your customers, because then of course they're going to come back and they're going to have a loyalty to you. So yeah, I mean, and then also the people that aren't good to their customers, they're not just damaging their own reputations, they're damaging the reputations of their comrades in the scene.
Yeah.
Right. So that ain't right either. So, you have to remember too, that you're not just representing for yourself, you're representing for the scene.
Absolutely. The next tier, issues 9 and 10, $20 for the two individual issues.
Yep.
The digital super pack, 1 through 10. So all 10 individual issues, $20 digital. Have you done digital on your previous campaigns?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. I couldn't disagree with, for instance, John. It's just like, oh, no digital, no digital.
Yeah.
Look, some of our readers live in far off places. Right.
Yeah.
And like Australia or Shanghai in one case.
Yeah.
And funny thing, they really don't want to pay like $28 for shipping and handling. And look, and we hate charging people $28 for shipping and handling.
Yeah.
So I always think it's good to have a digital tier for people that, don't want to pay $28 for shipping and handling.
Right. Yeah. No. I haven't like made a hard stance on digital. Sometimes I put it in a campaign. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything to be lost
Yeah.
by it, right? Like some
Uh-huh.
people are like, "Oh, well, what about piracy?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, I have sailed those high seas before, so if I'm going to be like worried or complaining about my book being pirated, I should drink a glass of STFU juice."
Yeah.
But also remember, our audience, they're book people,
Yeah.
right? They want this. They
Mhm.
want the whole tactile experience. They want something that they can put in a long box or put on their shelf. But there are also some people that like digital, and there's no reason not to serve those people too.
Yep. Volume 2 graphic novel, $25.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Volume 1 graphic novel, $30.
Yes, because of course that's like 148 pages.
That's a great cover too.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's by my friend Wes and a painter named Derek Dow, a guy who specializes in doing Old West paintings.
Nice.
And yeah, he just knocked it out of the park.
I can also get volume 2 with issues 9 and 10. If you're a collector of everything and already have volume 1 and all 8 previous individual issues. So
Right.
yeah.
So if you knowingly want to get content that you're already getting, I'm not going to stop you.
Yeah. No,
Right.
some people they just want everything.
Yes, and that's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and that's totally cool. I mean, I feel guilty even if I do like a variant cover. I feel like, oh, is this double dipping? Oh my god! But people ask for it. There's, you're not putting a gun up to their head.
Yeah. The floppy pack, 1 through 10, all individual issues, $85. That's a great deal.
Yes, and all signed.
And are these like the original? Like you said, you've been doing Six Gun for a while. The number 1, is that like the original
It's not the first printing
printing? Okay.
because I sold out of those at the
Yeah.
2017 New York Comic Con.
Yeah, you were
On day
telling me
2.
about that. That's
Yeah, man.
amazing.
It was very, very validating because it was like the first time I felt like I was kind of putting myself out there. And also that was my first convention.
Yeah. Oh,
So that
wow.
was like
What a what a great moment then.
jumping in at the deep end, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, and it went great. And what was really gratifying also was people that had bought the book the day or two before coming back to my table and saying, I read it and I love it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Some original artwork. Six Gun Gorilla, issue 8, page 11.
Yes.
$150.
Yes, by the great Preston Acevedo. Beautiful pencils.
That's a great price too.
Yes, it is.
Lots of art collectors in CG. So
Without a doubt.
I'm sure someone will snap up a piece of Preston artwork.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's just incredible. He's one of those guys where he's leveled up to the degree where I used to look at his work and I'd be like, oh man, that's so Frazetta, or that's so Bisley. And now I look at his stuff and I'm just like, that's so Preston.
Yeah.
He's incredible. And also just a really, really super cool guy. A gentleman, really. Very, very proud to be working with him and very proud to call him a friend.
Yeah, you've definitely lucked out working with 2 great artists on this series.
Truth.
So, is there anything else you would like the audience to know about Six Gun Gorilla, or just anything in general?
Well, basically, just to go and check out the website and download that first issue for free if you haven't read it yet, and that'll give you a chance to read it, kick the tires, and see if this is a book that you want to check out. What can I say? People have really responded to it in a wonderful way. Like I said, that's not me being braggadocious. That's me being really grateful. And yeah, if you want a rootin' tootin' 6-gun shooting Western with a gorilla, very big ape with very big guns blowing very big holes and very bad people, you're going to get that. And you're also going to get something that you probably didn't expect. Expect to have your heartstrings plucked is what I'm saying.
That's awesome. So where can people find you on the internet? What's your social media, Brian?
Oh, well, you can find me on the Twitter at Brian Christgau. You can find me on the Facebooks at Brian Christgau. And also I have a YouTube page at Brian Christgau. And it is on Saturdays, I do a live stream called the Horror Movie Club, where we watch horror movies and talk about them. And on Mondays, for the past 2 months, I've been doing a stream that's really been taking off called the Spaghetti Western Jamboree.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, if you want to learn a little bit more about spaghetti westerns, tune in to my YouTube channel on Saturdays at 8 p.m. And I shall share my vast knowledge of the subgenre with you.
Mark says, nice hardcover omnibus when?
Never.
No?
Never. Chris Rock said, people say never say never. I'm saying never, because I tried that with a Zoop campaign, and I experienced a lot of, shall we say, ops of the non-heterosexual nature.
Oh, wow.
And interference. And a lot of people that I thought had my back didn't have my back.
Oh.
And yeah. And because it was like, no Zoop. Oh, no. We have to be faithful. We have to be loyal to Indiegogo, even though they're shadow banning us. And I'd be like promoting the campaign, and suddenly there'd be all these people in the chat going, Camilla Zhang. And it turned out, I found out, the bitch hadn't worked there in over a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So no, never, ever. No, there's never going to be an omnibus edition.
No, I'm sorry you had to go through that. We got Ollie in the house. What's up, Ollie?
I'm still butthurt about that. What up, Ollie?
Chris Faction says, I got your back, and I've got you backed.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And everybody also, Ollie's in the house. If you hadn't heard of the Cryptinals, that's in comic book stores now. That is phenomenal. That's like, it's interesting because people say that I'm the most underrated writer in CG. And don't get me wrong, I love hearing that shit. I do, right? It's like a little ego stroking. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy that. It's not true though. The most underrated writer in CG is easily this guy Ray Ramos, I think. And well, actually, we're going to be doing a 6-Gun Gorilla Man Dog crossover.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
At some point. Yes, we have a mutual admiration society.
Oh, excellent. So, Brian, I want to thank you today and sharing 6-Gun Gorilla with all of us. It looks incredible.
Thank you, brother. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Anytime you want to come on, just hit me up. And I want to thank everyone in the chat. And guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Coney Waves. Coney Waves is still on Indiegogo for 5 days. And make sure you subscribe to Primetime Poulton, hit the notifications, and we'll be back next week for CG Revolution on Wednesday. Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace and love.